This build doesn't just make you tanky, but also hits like a truck. If you watched my Gauntlet build, you know it turned that challenge into a complete walk in the park. But that video was rushed and scattered across multiple uploads. So this time, I'm putting everything together, clean, clear, and complete, so you can build it right the first time. Let's start with the heart of this setup, the Dark Iron Staff. This weapon is the king of attack scaling. Why? Because it converts your defense into raw attack power. For every point of defense, you gain 0.15 attack. I've got 647 defense, and that gives me an extra 97 attack power, just from the staff's unique effect. So the more you tank up, the harder you hit. That's why this staff dominates. Next up, your Vessel. And there's only one choice here, Wind Tamer. It gives you 2% passive damage reduction, but when you activate it, you get 48% more, stacking to a massive 50% damage reduction total. Use it when bosses go wild and you'll barely flinch. For spirits, the first option is Earth Rakshasa. It grants 10% damage reduction for 10 seconds every time you take a hit. Perfect synergy for this build. Another great option is Dragonfly Guai, especially if you want to spam Wind Tamer. It boosts chi gain from attacks, but lowers your max health, mana, and stamina. Now let's talk about armor, because this is where things get crazy. You need the Bull King set, one of the most powerful armors in the entire game. Just wearing it makes you feel unstoppable. The headpiece grants focus when you take damage, and even more if you're under tenacity. I'll explain that in a second. The two-piece bonus gives you 10% defense for a few seconds after taking a hit. That extra defense feeds straight into the Dark Iron Staff's scaling, converting into even more attack power. But the 4-piece bonus is where it breaks the game. It disables perfect dodge, but gives you tenacity when your health is above 50%, meaning you won't get interrupted or staggered at all while you are under tenacity effect. That's why the Bull King set is insane. You basically become an unmovable fortress. But tenacity alone doesn't make you immortal. Damage reduction does. Stack it high enough and you'll tank anything. Keep watching, I'll show you how to reach that level. Let's move on to curios. You'll want Gold Spike Plate for more defense, and thus more attack. Then Jade Moon Rabbit for 3% damage reduction, and Gold Sun Crow for 3% damage bonus. Next, Amber Prayer Beads to speed up focus buildup. You can swap it for Tiger Tally, which gives 8% attack for a few seconds after landing a full light combo. And finally, the must-have, Bashan Sensor. It gives you 15% damage reduction whenever your gourd is empty. Speaking of gourds, you need the Qingtian gourd. It's perfect for this setup. It has just one charge, but it refills every 20 seconds or less. That means every time it's empty, Bashan Sensor kicks in, giving you that juicy 15% reduction on top of everything else. You can buy this gourd from Shen Monkey in New Game Plus, but you'll need to have all portraits unlocked in your journal first. For drinks, use Jade Dew Drink. It restores 55% of max health. It's the final upgrade of the coconut wine drink. For soaks, Laurel Buds are mandatory. You only get one per run, but each provides 10% damage reduction for 15 seconds after drinking from the gourd. In New Game Plus, that's 20%. In New Game Plus Plus, you'll have 30% total. Use Tender Jade Lotus if you don't have 3. It gives 5% defense for 15 seconds. Now for spells. Use Ring of Fire from Mysticism Spell and Cloud Step from Alternation. I've already covered Cloud Step spell in full detail in the previous video. Check that out if you haven't yet. Ring of Fire gives you 20% damage reduction while you are standing inside the ring and even heals you, making it perfect for clutch moments. And lastly, always keep Life-Saving Strand equipped. It revives you on death and restores 20% mana, a literal lifesaver. For consumables, use Evil Repelling Medicament for 10% damage reduction over 75 seconds and Lung Aura Amplification for more attack and crit rate. Now let's talk about how to execute this build in battle. Start by consuming Evil Repelling Medicament for that early damage reduction buff. Then activate Wind Tamer and go all in on the boss. If your HP drops below half, sip from your Qingtian gourd. It'll heal you up and trigger Bashan Sensor's 15% reduction. When Wind Tamer runs out, refill your chi with Mobile Spin Attack, then pop it again. Against bosses like Erlang, this also shreds his shield bar fast. Just remember, your consumable lasts 75 seconds and your soaks last 15 seconds. So manage your timing. If things get rough and your gourd's still recharging, use Cloud Step or Ring of Fire to stay alive. And that's the full version of the Unstoppable build, now refined and complete. If you found this guide useful, drop a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments.
你这猴子，令我欢喜。当年拿起这腰台，刀砍斧剁，枪刺剑出，毫发无伤。如今他却用自己换了你来，让我试试他有何不同。人心一念，天地皆知。